Hello and welcome to my ongoing reviews of the Boom Studios Power Rangers comic book. And in today's episode, I am talking about issue number 5, which is actually a side story, so to speak, taking place right before the Green Ranger saga, about a month before so. And it opens up on the Italian Prime Minister talking about how they are not going to, you know, fall for Rita's demands, and they are not going to give in to her. Basically, she's a terrorist, blah, 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 blah. We are not going to bow down to her. And Rita finds this to be a little bit annoying, so she sends down a giant Vitruvian man monster, armed with, a crossbow and swords and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, that is awesome. The great benefit of, seeing this in comic book form is that there is just no end to the amount of creativity you can put into this. This is not a monster we saw in the original series, but who cares? It's really cool. So anyway, they're all fighting the Vitruvian Man monster with the Megazord and everything, and he's quoting, what are they? Leonardo da Vinci quotes. Yes, he's quoting Leonardo da Vinci, so none of his quotes really make sense in the context of the, comic book. But it ends up being that Jason has to leave the cockpit of the Megazord and ask Zach to, cover for him, basically. And Jason takes a sword and plunges it into the heart of the Vitruvian Man in order to go and rescue civilians. But the Vitruvian Man is just about ready to deliver the final blow when, boom, out of nowhere, the Megazord slices him in half with Zach at the helm. So really, it was Zach's, awesome controlling of the Megazord that was able to finally beat the Vitruvian Man. But the Red Ranger, being the one outside of the cockpit when this whole thing went down, gets all the credit, which causes Zach to be a little bit jealous. Just a little bit. And Rita sees this. She's like, interesting. Need to capitalize on this. And so what she does is she sends putties down later on when Zach's kind of sulking on the streets to go and knock him out and abduct him and bring her back to her palace. And he's really confused by this whole thing, and he's about ready to try to fight her when she breaks his shackles and tells him, "Oh, you still have your power coin and morpher. I just have a deal to make you." And what she does is she leads him through her palace and talks about how she's really misunderstood and that Zordon's really kind of the dictator, the bad guy in this whole story, and how she's only reacting to what Zordon did before, which is kind of offering a bit of a compelling case for Rita's side of the story. We don't really know what Rita's backstory is, other than they fought together. Her and Zordon fought together, or fought against each other, I should say. Maybe together, who knows? We don't really know that, so hopefully we'll get some backstory on her, at least in this Boom Studios comic book universe. And she's offering Zach the chance to become her Green Ranger, which is a really cool idea. Again, she says her goals are misunderstood, and that Zach, being the Green Ranger, can really make a difference in the world. And she thinks that he would make a great leader in a better world. And Zach sees all this happening in the crystal ball, and he's just like, interesting. And it almost looks like he's about to accept her offer real quick when Goldar is about ready to hand him the Green Ranger power coin. But he punches Goldar and tries to take both of the power, or take the Green Ranger power coin back, but is unsuccessful in that. And so Goldar is right about ready to crush him in his arms, and Zach teleports away. So now he has knowledge that Rita has the ability to make another Ranger, and he brings that back to Zordon and talks to him about it. Zordon asks him to keep it quiet for a little bit, since they're not really sure what Rita's capable of, and kind of want to, just keep an eye on things. So he asks him not to tell the other Rangers about it, and commends him for his bravery and all that he's been doing. And then Zach comes out, and he's just like, well, actually, I was kind of tempted by this offer, basically. And he's actually coming clean with Zordon. He wants to do more for the world, and he just feels like he's kind of downplayed as a member of the team. And Zordon understands this and just tries to, help Zach as much as he can. And so what Zach does is he ends up meeting his friends at the diner, where they're all hanging out, and Jason's just like, "Dude, I would never have been able to do any of this without your help today. I would have died for sure, so thank you so much for your help, and, the Rangers, they're nothing without you." And Zach feels better by this, which makes sense. Yeah, he's feeling like he's a more accepted part of the team, which you have to imagine that Billy's probably going through something similar at this point, since he's already expressed his doubts to Trini before, but I digress. Anyway, it cuts back to Rita at the end, and she's watching Tommy and her crystal ball and talking about how she needs someone who's an outsider and not already a part of the Rangers in order to, fulfill her plans for the Green Ranger. When all of a sudden you hear a voice that tells Rita, hey, this guy, he's going to desert you. He'll join them. You'll see that I'm right someday. And when you see that I'm right, then we can talk. And Rita's definitely confused and a bit angry by this, that she has no idea who this voice is, but that's where the comic ends. So overall, I think this is a really cool little issue. It's a side story, so it's not really continuing on a lot from what we've seen for the last several issues. But yeah, setting in Italy, which is, I think that's a great move because it really shows the worldwide nature of Rita's threat. She did threaten the world, but you don't really see what happens in the rest of the world. So I like that. And Giant Vitruvian Man, obviously sheer genius, quoting Da Vinci, just hilarious. And I don't know, it would have been interesting to see this plot in the original TV show because unfortunately Zach doesn't get much development in his time on the show, and it would be interesting to see how the TV version would have reacted to this kind of offer. But alas, it didn't happen, and at least in this, we can kind of see what could have been. So that's it for issue number 5. Thank you for watching. Join me next time for issue number 6, and until next time, stay average. Goodbye.